Have you ever just had that nagging feeling that you're falling behind? You look around at your life, maybe you're getting close to 40 or you're already there and you just feel off? It's this really powerful, kind of quiet feeling, but believe me, it is so, so common. So today, we're going to take that feeling apart and see it not as some big crisis, but as a really crucial opportunity. Okay, let's get into it. Wow. This right here, this is a quote from a user over on Reddit. And it's just so raw, isn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling of just being completely drained, that sense of resignation. The feeling that the script for your life has already been written, and maybe your part in it isn't quite what you'd hoped for. This is where we're going to start.
So, what is this feeling really? Is it just you? No way. Absolutely not. This isn't some kind of personal failure. It's more like a fork in the road that a lot of us come to. It's that moment of reflection that hits when the life we thought we'd have meets the life we're actually living.
And the most important thing to know right off the bat is that you are not alone in this. I really mean that. This feeling is so universal that, believe it or not, psychologists have been studying it for decades. What you're going through is a recognized, predictable, and frankly, a totally necessary part of being human. So to really get a handle on this, we need to kind of zoom out from the feeling itself and look at the bigger picture, the framework. And for that, we're going to turn to the work of a psychologist named Erik Erikson. He basically gave us a map for the human lifespan, and it brilliantly explains what's going on in our 40s. So Erikson's big idea was this: our lives unfold in a series of stages. And in each of those stages, we face some kind of central conflict, or what he called a psychosocial crisis. Now, crisis sounds like a really bad thing, but it's not. Think of it more like a challenge or a turning point. And getting through that challenge is exactly how we grow. You can see here how it all lays out. Our lives move through these different stages, starting way back in infancy with trust versus mistrust and going all the way up. The point is, we don't just suddenly land at 40 with all these feelings out of nowhere. They're part of a long journey, building on everything that came before. And our focus today is right there in the middle, that stage of middle adulthood. This is the sweet spot we're talking about. Erikson defined middle adulthood as being roughly from age 40 to 65. And this is prime time for that feeling of being stuck to really bubble up to the surface. And he gave it a name. And this right here, this is the heart of it all. This slide illustrates that central conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got generativity. This is the drive to create something, to contribute to the world, to help the next generation, to leave a positive mark. It's about feeling like your life has a real purpose. And on the other side, stagnation. I mean, the word says it all. Feeling stuck, unproductive, totally disconnected. That quote we started with, that is the absolute voice of stagnation. But listen, this isn't just some dusty old theory. People navigate this stage all the time, making that shift from stagnation over to generativity. So let's look at the proof. We're talking real stories from real people who hit a wall and then just smashed right through it. Okay, so let's start with this guy, Reddit user Mike S314. I mean, talk about hitting rock bottom. He turns 40, his business had just failed, his 17-year marriage was over, and he was completely wiped out, financially and emotionally. He literally described himself as absolutely ruined. This is the definition of stagnation. But what happened next? He didn't just make one giant leap. It was all about small, deliberate steps. And notice step 1, feel the feels. He actually gave himself time to process everything. Then, he started taking action, a job just to survive, hitting the gym, journaling. He rebuilt his life, as he says, little by little. And then, he did something huge. He invested in himself by learning a new skill, coding. And here it is. This is the result of that whole process. 8 years later, he's living his best life. He went from being absolutely ruined to absolutely thriving. This is a perfect, real-world example of resolving that conflict, of choosing generativity over stagnation. And his story is not some one-off. The same online thread was just filled with stories like this. People who quit a 20-year career to finally start their own business. Someone who got sober, cut out all the unsupportive people in their life, and then found true love at 45. The pattern is so clear. A moment of stagnation, followed by intentional, deliberate change, leads to a completely revitalized life. Okay, so that's the inspiration. But what about the application? Like, how do you actually do it? This next part is all about that. We've pulled together the advice from all these real-world stories into a practical toolkit for making your own changes.
So what are the common threads here? First, and this one is just massive, stop the comparison game. As one person put it, you gotta live life on your own terms. Next, get practical. Prioritize your physical health and sleep. You just can't burn the candle at both ends anymore. Learn something new, stimulate your brain. For some people, getting sober was the one key that unlocked everything else. And finally, and this is so critical, edit your life. You have to remove people and activities that drain you and start journaling to figure out what it is you actually want.
And that right there brings us to the most important part of the entire toolkit, self-reflection. Because look, all the external changes in the world won't matter one bit if they aren't lined up with what you value on the inside. You have to ask yourself the hard questions. What do I truly want? Not what my parents or my friends or society wanted for me. What experiences really, truly matter to me?
So, let's bring this all together. What is the big takeaway from all of this? Well, it's really about a fundamental shift in how you look at this whole thing. A complete reframing of this entire stage of life. This is the crucial point. The word crisis implies a disaster, a total breakdown. But correction implies a deliberate, controlled, and really positive adjustment. It's you grabbing the steering wheel and guiding your ship back toward the destination you truly want. It's an act of power, not an act of panic. And I just love this quote because it suggests this isn't something that should only happen at 40. Really, the healthiest way to live is to make these little course corrections all along your journey, constantly checking in with yourself. That big, overwhelming feeling at 40 isn't a sign that you failed. It's just a much louder alarm bell telling you that a correction is overdue. So that feeling of being stuck, it isn't an ending. It's not just what life is. It's a signal. It's basically an invitation from your future self to just pause, to reflect, and to make a change. The path from stagnation to generativity is right there waiting for you. The only real question left is the one on your screen right now.